Okay, so we're here with a guild war against Eternity, and this video is going to be a guide slash walkthrough of how to deal with Albion towers. Now, the tower we're going to be going against is already scouted, so this is not how to scout Albion towers. This is just how to attack one when you already have the turn order. So some of the highlights from this are going to be, of course, Albion, Curse, and Barbara. Barbara is really what makes this work. So, we can see right off the bat they have kind of a non-traditional buff chain at the start. They're going Osmode to Levia to Albion to Glacia. So, when Albion moves, she bestows Taunt for 12 turns to the 4 units that are to each corner diagonally from her. So that means in this situation, Osmode and Gran are both getting Taunt from Albion. Now, Albion's Taunt skill is important because this increases the Gray's damage to, it's a 75% reduction. So it's a guaranteed Graze, and on top of that, you're only going to deal 25% of your damage when you do that. And that doesn't even count defense or damage reduction. That's simply from Graze. You're going to deal, if you were going to hit for 100 damage, when you Graze, you're going to hit for 25 damage. That's how Albion's skill works. So it basically gives units taunts and gives them a 100% chance for you to Graze against them. So it can be difficult to deal with. Also, the way Albion taunts work is taunts go in priority. So with her X form right here, the top left one would be first, bottom left would be second, Osmode would be third, and Gran would be fourth. That is the way the taunt order works. So if you'll notice, though, right after Albion moves, Glacia moves. So now Glacia is taunting, and now she has a higher taunt priority, since she is not only, or she's in front of the Osmode, who would normally be taking priority. So Glacia has priority, which means she's going to be taunting first, and I'm going to hit her first. So the way I have it set up is Glacia is actually going to be hitting my Angelica. So here's the cool interaction with this. Glacia right now has 62.98% defense, with basically 63%. When she hits my Angelica, Angelica has a Curse passive that's going to reduce all stats by 65%. So that's going to reduce Glacia's defense to 0. And Glacia's only immunity skill is attack interference, so she's not immune to Curse. So when Glacia moves, she's going to reduce all her defense to 0. Then, I am going to buff up Michaela, Refi, Veronia, Barbara. So now here is, we're using Barbara actually 2 different ways in this scenario. So the way Glacia works is her Glacier skill blocks all damage that happens after the normal attack. So Barb's big damage that she does, the ones that kills reflect tanks, is an after normal attack damage. So this is a skill that pretty much can kill any unit that has a reflect counter, except for Glacia, because she blocks all damage that happens after the normal attack. So Barb will need her normal attack to kill Glacia by itself. So the reason why I'm using 3 buffs, and I already did the calculations on this, is Michaela 15 with Refi 15 and Veronia 14, buffing the Barbara, is enough to kill the Glacia with just Barbara's normal attack. So Glacia immediately dies from Barb's normal attack, and then Barb also hits Osmode. Now the thing with Albion buffed units is, even though Barb has this counter skill because she deals, or because Albion's taunt reduces the graze damage down to 25%. Barbara has a minimum crit damage that she needs to make sure she kills Albion buffed units with Reflect. And that amount of crit damage is 662% after buffs are done. So mine is 748% crit damage after buffs are done. So there's no problem. Basically, Glacia will move, and then my Barbara will kill both Glacia and Osmode. Now, with those two taunts out of the way, the very next taunt in order is the Gran. So my follow-up turn, well, I'm jumping too far ahead. Next, Refi will move, Helga will pass the turn, and Dalvi will hit my Lucius. So right after that, I have my Ventana following up. Now, Ventana is going to be hitting into Gran's Albion taunt. The cool thing about Ventana 15, it's either 15 or nothing. She gets a 650% max HP fixed damage taunt skill. She will kill literally any taunter that's not Lucius, Yuri, or Caleron. So plus 15 Ventana is going to completely annihilate the Gran, and that removes our final taunt out of the situation. So we've got all three taunts gone. Then their Yuri follows up hitting my Lucius. And then my Yuri is going to go. Now, I'll go through and count the turns, but Yuri is going to kill Refi, Dalvi, and Levia because Dalvi will be in human mode. So the way that works is they start 1, Osmode, 2, 3, 4. Glacia is 4th. Then I move 5, 6, 7, 8. 8, and I kill their top lane. Then Refi moves 9. Helga moves 10. Dalvi moves 11. Then my Ventana moves turn 12, killing Gran. Then Yuri moves turn 13, hitting my Lucius. And then it's turn 14 for my Yuri. Now the way Dalvi works is she switches back and forth between human and fox. The first turn, she's human, and then she does 12 turns of fox. So turn 13 is the last turn she's fox, and then turn 14 she's human. So Yuri is going to hit her right when she turns human. And then I have Lucius, who will hit Yuri's first death guard, because her passive lets her get hit twice before she takes any damage. And then my Eden will follow up, killing the Yuri and popping the Helga. And then the match will be over. Now, the part I haven't touched on yet is I was saving Helga for last because when you kill Helga, she cleanses her team, she gives everyone debuff immunity. If she's plus 12, she's given everyone 80% stats, every stat except for HP. And she's going to curse and buff block my team. So that can be a real problem. So for this attack, I'm avoiding hitting her until the very end so that doesn't matter. So once again, I'll just go through the kills once more and then we'll hit go and see what happens. Osmode, Levia, Albion, Glacia. Glacia will be cursed. I hyper buff my Barbara, killing Glacia and Osmode. Then their buff chain goes Refi, Helga, Dalvi. And then I use my Ventana to kill the Gran. Then Yuri moves. I use my Yuri to kill Refi, Dalvi, and Levia. And then I use Lucius to take a death card off of Yuri, and Eden to finish off Yuri and kill Helga. So I'm just going to double check my runes, make sure all my units have what they need to have on them. And yeah. Also, an interesting thing to think about too is which units you have tanking things, just in case something goes wrong. I have Lucius up here at the front taking all of their units, which are front hitters. And I have Angelica tanking everything top, which are all front hitters as well. And then my Veronia can take Gran all day long, and she's a front hitter. So we're totally safe in that regards. So, we've checked everything over. Let's see what happens. Alright. We'll lose time once so we can see all the interactions. Osmode moves. Levia. Albion buffs up. She gets cursed. Now I'm going to hyper buff my Barb. And we're going to kill everyone top. Nice. Now Refi buffs. Helga moves. Dalvi goes. I kill the Gran. Yuri moves. I kill the 3 front with my Yuri. Take off a Death Guard of Yuri. And finish the match with Eden. Now you notice, see, my entire team is buff blocked and cursed. That's why we were waiting for the end to deal with Helga. And yeah, and that's how you deal with Albion towers when you know the turn order.